Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the writing section, and I have taken up this topic of letter writing, and in this we will do formal letter writing. So before starting this, we must know what is a letter. So letter is nothing but a written message which is conveyed from one person to another. So it is very important that nowadays, especially when you want to convey something to the authority, we must know what is the format and what is the language, because it's very important to be accurate and must communicate our message correctly. So that's why we will learn formal letter today. So letter is of two types, formal letter and informal letter. Now we must know the difference between formal letter and informal letter writing. So formal letter, basically these are for the business purpose, for the letter to the editor, maybe to the principal or some higher authorities. The language should be specific and it must be simple language, and the language here, it should be formal one. Whereas in informal letter, we write this letter to our parents, grandparents, friends, okay, and here the communication should be personal and it should be casual also. So here you can, with your language, you can give your emotional tone also. So this is the basic difference in letter writing in formal and informal. Now let's move to the details of formal letter writing. So before writing formal letter, we must have these things with us. First is sender's detail. For example, if I'm writing this letter, or in the question it is given that XYZ is writing a letter, so you must have that detail. Next comes date. Then third is receiver's detail. So you must know, if you are writing a letter to the bank manager, you must know the authority to whom you are writing the letter, the name of the bank and the place. So this is one example. Then next comes salutation. Salutation you write sir, madam, dear sir, or like that you can write. Then subject. Subject is very important because it must be clear and very short. So it tells what the letter is about. Next comes the body part. Body part depends on your topic. It conveys your message. You elaborate your message, and you elaborate, if it is a complaint, you elaborate it. So body part, it is very important part, and it should have a paragraph, 3 paragraphs at least. Then next comes the complimentary clause. Complimentary clause depends on the authority. You generally write, for example, if it is editor, you write yours truly, and suppose if we are writing to the bank manager or some municipal corporation office, so you can write yours faithfully. To the principal, you write yours faithfully, yours obediently. So that is complimentary clause. Then next is designation. If you're writing, at the end we write our name and we sign the letter. So these details are very important when you write the letter. And in the same sequence, it is put up in the letter as well. So we will see what is the sequence. So as I have discussed, first comes sender's address. Here you write the address of the person who is sending the letter. For example, if it is in the question, it is given like XYZ is sending the letter, house number is this, so you will put that address. Next, you leave a line and then you put date. It's very important that you should have gap. So you leave a line wherever it is required. So date I have shown you the format. This is the format of writing a date, and no other format is acceptable. So it's very important to be particular about the format of the date. Then again you leave a line, and then after that you write receiver's address. For example, if you are writing to the editor, the first line you write the authority name. For example, it is the editor. Then in the second line you write the name of the newspaper. For example, the Indian Express, the Tribune, we'll write like that. Then after that, name of the city. For example, if it is the Tribune, you can write Chandigarh. So these 3 things are very important when you're writing the letter to the editor. Then again you leave a line and then you write salutation. Salutation means sir, madam. Okay. Then after that you leave a line. Then after leaving a line, you write the subject. Subject is very important. It should be short and it should be clear. So this is very important. Think of the subject. What is the subject of your letter? Then again you leave a line, and then we move on to the body of the letter. So body of the letter, it should have 3 paragraphs at least. So first part is the introduction. You just introduce your problem. Okay. So second part, then you just start with the next paragraph of the letter, and that is the main content, means you elaborate. You elaborate your subject, and if there is a cause and if there is effect of the problem, you mention that, and there also you can divide it into paragraphs. Then third is conclusion, where you just write that certain steps would be taken. I hope certain steps would be taken to solve my problem, or in this way you will elaborate. So these 3 parts at least are very important, that your body part should have at least these 3 paragraphs. Then after that, you mention thanking you, and again leave a line, and then you write yours faithfully and or truly, you can mention that, and then thereafter you put your name and your signature. So here it is written that if in the question these details are already given, suppose it's in the question, sometimes it is given, suppose you are Suhani Thakur of Officers Colony, Patiala. So you have to mention your name as Suhani Thakur only. You do not write your name. And suppose in the examination it is written, suppose you are XYZ of ABC Colony. So you will write here your name as XYZ only. So this is very important in letter writing. Let's start. Now we will do one example of letter writing, and we will understand better. Suppose if we write a letter to the editor of a newspaper on the issue of bad condition of roads in your locality. So we will write one letter, and I just tell you step by step how to write the letter to the editor. It's in this question. Now here first comes the sender's address, then you leave a line, then you put date. Okay, please be very careful about the format of the date. You cannot mention 26/1/2020. This will be absolutely wrong. You have to write 26 January 2020. Okay, then leave a line, then again write the editor. Okay, then you mention the name of the newspaper, maybe like the Tribune. Okay, Ahmedabad. Alright, then after this you leave a line, then you write salutation, dear sir, or you can simply write sir, then leave a line, then subject regarding bad condition of roads. So this is the subject. Then again leave a line, and then you start with the body of the letter. Now if we go to the body of the letter, so when you write the body of the letter, it is very important that you do your rough work first. First, you should know the points that you are going to explain in the letter, how you are going to elaborate it, what is the vocabulary part, what you think is not required to mention. Okay, and if word limit is given, you must know that in this word limit, my letter should be complete. So before writing the body part, do the rough work, which I always tell you to do. So here you can see this body part is divided into 3 paragraphs. How you introduce your letter first, like I am writing regarding the bad condition of roads in our locality. So you can elaborate like this. Then you just explain the problem. Why is this problem? What is happening? What are the problems that you are facing? Okay, and the cause and effect part you can do. And last, you can conclude your letter by requesting them. Okay, so here the body of the letter ends. Then after this, you can just write yours faithfully. For editor, we also write yours truly, and then your name. So with this, we end our letter. It's very, very important to note that whatever way of punctuation that is mentioned here in this letter format, please be very careful while writing. For example, if I am writing the editor, it should be the editor. E is capital. You cannot write small. These are very common mistakes when children write letter. After subject, put colon, and there regarding, it will be capital R. While writing the date also, be very careful. Writing address, your name, be very careful about the punctuation of this letter. Okay, so I hope you will practice more Read more and more letters wherever you find it possible. Take wherever, maybe in grammar books, read lots of letters and just jot down the phrases, the lines, the words that you find beneficial for letter writing that you learn. Okay, so I will also explain you now the opening lines. How if any question is given, maybe complaint or maybe request, so what can be the opening lines of the letter. So now we will do the phrases for writing a formal letter. So these are very important phrases that you should note and should use while writing a diary accordingly. So while beginning the letter, you can write like this: with reference to our telephonic conversation. So it depends on the question, basically what kind of question it is given, and you can write accordingly. Thank you for your email regarding this. If there is any kind of reply you want to give, so you can give the reference like this: I'm writing on behalf of this. I'm writing to draw your attention to this thing. So while making a request, you can use these phrases. Okay, now this is apologizing. Suppose there is a question where you want to apologize for the mistake. So how you can start? We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Please accept our sincere apologies. For complaining, if you're writing a complaining letter, for example, if you go for online shopping and you did not get your product right and there is some problem with the product that you had ordered, so this is how you can write. Complaining, I'm writing to express my dissatisfaction with XYZ, whatever is the product. I find it most unsatisfactory that I would like to complain about that. So these phrases are very important. Now there are ending phrases. This is again, you can use these phrases. I look forward to hearing from you. If you require any further information, please don't hesitate to contact me. Please feel free to contact me if you have any further questions. And signing off means last, how you end the letter, conclude your letter. Yours sincerely, yours faithfully. So with this, I'm ending with this topic, and I hope that you read more and more formal letters from your grammar books and wherever you find it possible, maybe through internet, and please practice it for life, not for this session only, but it is very important. Wherever you go, whatever you do, this formal letter you will have to write somewhere. Okay, thank you so much.